Hey guys, so today I'm going to go over replacing a radiator in a 2001 Dodge Ram 1500. This is the 5.2 liter engine. I've replaced this radiator before. This is actually my second radiator. It's been in here for 2 years and it started leaking in the same place as my other one. So I did away with this, or I got a two-piece, as you can see. That's what the stock is, and you can see it's wet right there. Oof, don't poke me. And it was leaking down the side there, and it's also wet inside the fan shroud, which of course it's not soaking wet now because it's been evaporated overnight, but yeah, it's leaking there, and it was leaking at this fitting. But I got a one-piece solid aluminum racing style radiator that's going to be going in here, and hopefully that will help with never having a problem with a leak again. And it's supposed to keep it 15% cooler than the original style. Now this one here was an OEM style that I got at a junkyard. It claimed to be brand new. I paid $78 for it, and the new one I paid $261. So there's a huge difference in price, and hopefully it holds up a lot better. So as you can see, I am draining out the radiator with what coolant is still in it. So what I'm going to start with is taking this hose off, which you're going to need some channel locks or pliers of some kind. I'm using those. And you'll unplug that. You'll unplug this hose, and you'll take the transmission line fittings off. There's one at the top, one at the bottom, and there's also another hose at the bottom. And once you disconnect those, there's probably going to be coolant that comes out of them. I usually squeeze them and turn them up and try and let the fluid run into the radiator. And then once you get those disconnected, we'll start taking the bolts out. That's holding, the fan shroud is held in right here with these bolts going down, as you can see there. Now the radiator at the bottom is just sitting in pins and is bolted in at the top. It's very simple to replace, pretty quick from what I can remember. I think it took me 2 hours to replace it last time. So let's go ahead and get this banged out. Okay, that hose disconnected fairly easy. I usually just lay it over to the side like so. As you can see, it dripped a little, not a whole lot. The radiator's still dripping just a little bit. And in case you're wondering where the plug is, this is it right here. And it goes right, you see where it's dripping from. Which, if I could get my hand there without blocking the camera, I would. It is right there. So we'll go ahead and disconnect this. Should just wiggle loose. If it doesn't wiggle loose, take your pliers, grab the wire. Grab the the wire. Grab the hose, like so. Like, let's say this is your hose. Take it and twist it and pull as you're twisting. Don't squeeze so hard and grip it so hard that you're cutting into it. But get a firm grip and twist and pull. Okay, so the bottom hose is down here, and you'll grab it like so. I'm probably not gonna be able to do this and record it. I was gonna try. Alright, so I got my snap ring back. So it's not really a snap ring, but anyways, if you can't get it back, you can use spit, oil, or WD-40 to lubricate it and get it to slide back easier. Now my hoses are going to be loose already, probably, because I've only had this radiator a year to 2 years, maybe 3 years. Yeah, it's been about 3 years I've had this radiator. So I'll go ahead and get that off. Looks like it's going to spray some coolant out. Hopefully not. Alright, so not too bad. It did slip straight off. So as you can see, there wasn't a whole lot of coolant in the truck at all. So we'll do these two hoses next. Alright, now this is the hose I'm going to do next. It is the top one that I had a problem with leaking. You can see I put sealant on it to try and keep it from leaking. It worked, but it was also leaking from the radiator. So as you can see, you're going to take this, loosen this. The whole thing may come out. Depending on your radiator, you may need the whole thing. You may need certain pieces. Pretty sure no matter what, you are going to need from here back, and I'll show you a picture of the wrench size. Okay, and as you can see, it's an 11/16 when we're talking about this fitting right here. Alright. Okay, so that fitting's loose. Now if you need the whole fitting, I recommend do it when the radiator's out, just like that bottom line down there. I'm going to unbolt it there because, let's see here, that line runs to the front radiator. So yes, there's a nut right there that I'm going to disconnect. It's probably leaking there too some. I'm going to disconnect there and pull it all out and try and get it off of there once the radiator's out. So we'll go from there. Okay, so this one here is 3/4. The 7/8 is for this one here. Okay, so all the lines are disconnected. For some reason, when I disconnected that, there was transmission fluid in it, and I don't remember that last time, and I don't know why there would be, because it goes straight into the radiator. That's a little concerning. So, I guess when I pull it out, I keep double checking it to make sure I unplugged the right one. Pretty sure I did. So, I guess I'll go from here. Alright, so next we'll unbolt the fan shroud. You see there's 2 bolts there, one up top, then one down low, 2 on each side, and then it should just pull right off. And then you have 1 bolt there and 1 bolt here holding the radiator in, and from what I remember, that's it. We'll find out if there's more though. Okay, and all 6 bolts are a 10mm. You'll need a ratchet, like a stubby socket, and just a normal ratchet will work on most places. Maybe you might need a wrench, 10mm wrench in some places, but we'll get that taken care of. Okay, now some of these I had to get off with my ratchet wrench. Couldn't get couldn't get the ratchet on it. They were so tight. So I gotta do 1 more on that side, and as you can see, the radiator's about to come out. Oh yeah, okay. So I also forgot these little plastic pins are connected to the radiator. I didn't put them back in on this side. Don't know why. I guess I couldn't get them in, whatnot. But it should pull out. Feels a little difficult, but if there's anything else, you'll see it here. Okay, and so it's out. Yep, there's 2 plastic pins there and there. Once you do that, the radiator will come out, as you can see. It looks like there's actually nothing wrong with it. It does look like I have a leak here. I cleaned up my leak there, and you can no longer see where it's leaking, but it does look like I had a leak down here. You can see it's real wet on the sides, and then it puddles up at the bottom. So, and you can also see where, now it leaked in the same spot before. I don't know if that's what that's from, but you can see where it was getting wet. So here we go. Let me go get the new radiator unboxed, and I'll show you the differences between the 2. Alright, so here's the 2 radiators. I thought I had replaced this before. I guess not, because I found this in my toolbox. So it came with these fittings, and I was trying to figure out how to get this off. I was like, well, these 2 look the same, so I just pushed it on to see if it fit, and well, it snapped on. Now it ain't coming off. So I guess that answers that question. So I got a new fitting. Maybe it won't leak anymore. They actually look a little bit different. Hopefully they screw into the same spot. Surely so. Okay, so this safety lock is supposed to go there. Of course it's not going to go on there. But, so here's the differences between the radiators. And as you can see, it's a solid aluminum end piece welded versus an attached clamped plastic one. It was sealed fine for the most part. Looks like it wasn't sealed too well. This is the front side. No, this is the back side, and it was leaking from the front. I don't know, maybe it was just dirty and it was never leaking. I do know it was leaking here and up here. Thank God, instead of it being a two-pieced part there, it's a solid piece with a nipple. So it can thread straight on. There's no attaching, an adapter and all that stuff. So I know for sure it won't be leaking. Question is that gonna fit? Because they're not really close to the same size. Well, let's get this bad boy in there. Alright, so I went ahead and tightened this. It is a 3/4. It'd just be easier to get to it now than later. And you do have to reuse your rubber grommets. I think I put those in there facing the correct way. Ah, shit, I forgot to get that one. So I guess that's all I'll find out. Alright, sweet. So my fear did become true. Everything lines up perfectly. You'll put everything back together in I guess the same order you took it apart. It really don't matter, just whichever way you can get it go back together in. But what I was in fear of was this on the external reservoir not, fitting, and it does not. I'll have to get an adapter. You see it's just loosey goosey. I have to get a fitting and replace that. Now it does have threads. Take it off, I guess. If I wanted to put a different one on, I could, but I don't know. Is it even necessary to have it? I'll figure out something. I'm sure they make converters to dial it down, but and it does come with a new radiator cap, which is great. So pretty much I have a brand new front end cooling system. So I'm gonna bolt everything back up. I'm not gonna show you step by step on how I'll bolt everything back up. So I'll bolt everything back up and we will go from there. Sweet. Bitch is gonna look bad. Alright, so my phone died. As you can see, it's actually running cooler than what it was before the new radiator. So I don't know, I didn't have a problem with it sitting at the wrong temperature. It was just, it was leaking coolant somewhere. I was hoping it was on that radiator. Hope so. If it's not, then it's either the freeze plugs I got leaking or the head gasket. But I'll show you the new radiator. So, and here it is, the all new aluminum radiator. Looks pretty good. It's a little warm. Definitely not as cool as the plastic. I did that to make it work. No more leaking. I'm good. Alright guys, hope you found that video useful. It ain't too bad of an install. Like I said, it actually did take me about 2 hours. So if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and I'll be adding more videos. I know I'm not adding them as frequent as I was, but This is all I can do right now. And I have new tires. Just thought of that. I've had these on here for about 2 months now. I got mud wraps. So, yep.